first of all, the overarching thesis, 6 points. The future of social media will be built on a digital monetary layer. It will allow for permissionless innovation, which means that it's open source. It will be focused on peer-based governance versus platform-based governance. It will be censorship resistant. The creators that contribute to the utility or platform will own everything, and you have digital property rights through encryption. This was my thesis on what will the future of social networks look like. And so why I decided to build Zion in the way that we did was because it meets every one of those tenets and every one of those objectives. And what I do every single day as the CEO is that when we release a new product or we're going to a new place, we want to make sure that we're fulfilling these 6 tenets in everything that we do. Because if there's something that comes up and it's like, actually, that's not properly done because it's a little too potentially centralized, we don't want to do that. We'll pull back and say, hey, but it's easier to do, but no, that's not what we want to do, because then it will not meet our tenets of the things that are important to us of what does the future look like. Whereas Web 2, every major social network today is basically the opposite of every one of those points, right? It's highly centralized. It's focused on platform governance. It is not open source. It is not built on a monetary layer. You don't own anything, and the creators have no rights whatsoever in any of these centralized systems. Even these newer Web 2 companies, right? The Parlors, Getters, Truth Social, they're building the same thing. They're not building anything innovative. They're not building anything different. And in all my opinion, it's just noise. What we're trying to build is signal using Lightning.
Right. It's a fascinating idea that data and your information online is worth something, because for the longest time, like, we've almost been brainwashed into believing it's not worth anything, and that, like, you post it on Facebook for free, or you post it on Instagram for free, you give it away, you blast it out into the internet, everyone gets to see it. And now I think people are starting to realize that information has value, and that Lightning enables, because it enables any sized value transfer, you can go down to the smallest amount, and now everyone can price their information and can send, value for value is like one of these common themes now in Lightning, where if I have only a sat to my name, I can send it to you for creating great content, which is so cool. I think this whole space is just mind-blowing.
And I think it's the expansion of the creator economy, right? So if we look at YouTube was the second layer of the creator economy, where it's random people can go on the internet and get paid through ads to put videos on the internet. Now we're getting to a stage with Lightning, which is, in my opinion, the third layer of the creator economy, which is the fans of the creators get paid for sharing derivative content from the creators using Lightning. So it's like you can be a fan. You can now be what I like to call a professional consumer of content, right? Like clipping podcasts for sats, right? Like there was yesterday I was on Fountain, and which I love this app. Oscar's genius. I know you're involved in the company. And our investor, Aubrey Marcus, did a podcast with this economist, and he's talking about Zion for like 10 minutes because he's an investor and he knows what we're building. And I got to clip it out and I shared it with a bunch of people. And I was like, wow, it'd be awesome if like you could stream sats for those clips, right? Like that to me is going to be a very interesting element, because it is Aubrey's content, but it's me creating the clip of the content, resharing it. And like all those things to me is really exciting about where we're going with all of this technology.
Yeah, well, you're thinking in the right lines. I think like that's going to happen. You're already seeing it on another one is Stacker News, where you don't even have to create content. You can just be a curator.
Yeah,
and you earn. It's like Reddit, right? You're curating content on Reddit, but you get upvotes, and on this you get sats for doing the same job.
Yep.
Do you think there's going to be any? What do you think some of the unexpected or like interesting ways people can earn money in the future will look like? I know we just dove into two of them right there, but
I want that to be our next episode, where I tell you all the things we're releasing next month, because I think you'll see some of those things in actual action, and we'll be like, hey, like we actually built it and here it is. So I want to save that for episode 2, because that I could tell you, hey, we built it and this is why we're kind of moving in this range. But to like add to, I think your original point is that Web 2, most of these companies are focused around like data around your identity. And I think what's interesting about Web 3 and the things that we're trying to build in Web 3 is that you're adding a level of identity with a payment, right? It's like, it's this concept of accreditation within a social network, because right now, social is like the Wild West. There's no control. There's no repercussions if you're a bad actor, right? Like almost every day there is a fake account on Instagram that gets started and asking my friends for trading information and trying to like potentially like fish money out of them. And I'll get a message like, hey, someone's impersonating you. It's like, well, first of all, I'm verified. So like, don't ever listen to an account that's not me, because I only have one account. It's verified on every social network. But like that fraud is available because those centralized systems, you can use an email and a password and just start. There's no concept of identity or accreditation. Whereas in the new world, because everything will be tied to a monetary wallet, bad actors will be fined for bad things. And I think that that's the beautiful thing is like you can use digital energy, right? Bitcoin is digital energy to actually accreditate an individual within a social environment. These are stuff that Michael Saylor talks about all the time. And so I think that's the most exciting thing about building a social network inside of the Bitcoin Lightning Network is that we have these layers of accreditation.